Hey friends, this is Jason Robel, celebrity chef, nutrition coach, and wellness wizard. And my dear friends at Commune have asked me to come on and share some information with you that I have been sharing this entire past 2 weeks on my Instagram stories and some of the other video content that I've been putting out on the internet in relation to how we can all deal with our current collective situation with the coronavirus and COVID-19. Now, I could be here and wax poetic about a number of things, from conspiracy theories to NIH or CDC statistics or an innumerable number of other tidbits of information that we are all seemingly bombarded with day to day. But what I want to touch on today in this snippet with you is some of the information that I've been relaying about my health, wellness, immunity, and mental health protocols that I've been working with people for the last 2 weeks on how to stay sane, stay healthy, stay safe, and to manage our physical health as well as our emotional wellness in these incredibly challenging and confusing times. So I'm going to do a deep dive with you in the next, 20 minutes or so, as my animals are right outside my office door begging for dinner. But here we go. The first thing I want to touch upon in terms of physical wellness is supplements and foods and protocols that you can be doing and taking to improve your overall immunity and physical health. So for me, in terms of what I've been eating, what I've been consuming, the number one thing that I think I could advise to anyone is to make sure that you are staying incredibly hydrated and really well mineralized. And what that means is, if you've ever had a challenge as I have had with staying hydrated throughout the day, I think it's important to drink a lot of water. If you have a water filtration system at home, a lot of the water filtration systems, like the one that I have, which is a 12-step with reverse osmosis, charcoal carbon filtration, it cleans the water, but in doing so, it strips a lot of the minerals out of the water. So a really easy way to do this is just to add a little bit of sea salt or Himalayan crystal salt or mineral drops back into your water to remineralize it if you are drinking RO water or distilled water, anything that tends to strip out the minerals. If you're doing spring water, that tends to be a highly mineralized water, so you should be good there. But why is this important? Well, we've seen some research that the coronavirus tends to be stickier in environments where there's a lot of dryness. So I've been running a humidifier in my bedroom. I've been drinking a lot more water than usual. And rates on how much water to drink vary. I don't want to get into the technical statistics of that. Some people say the number of ounces you should drink per day should be half of your body weight, but there's no definitive evidence per se on how much that is. I'm just encouraging you to drink water and a lot of it. In terms of mineralization, this is highly important because minerals carry out so many chemical processes in our body. In particular, the number one mineral that most Americans are deficient in, and people worldwide tend to be deficient in this mineral as well, is magnesium. And that's the master mineral. It's the master mineral because it not only regulates our stress levels and helps with our adrenal function, but it helps with bone density. It helps us sleep better. It down-regulates our nervous system when we are in states of anxiety or stress. So if there's one mineral I can really, really highly recommend, it would be magnesium. The other mineral that I highly recommend is zinc. Zinc is an immunoprotective mineral. A lot of times you can see zinc in vitamin C formulas, in a CalMag zinc formula, but we'll get to vitamin C in a second. But the top two minerals that I highly, highly recommend for down-regulating your nervous system, helping with your sleep, and also making sure your immunity is high, again, in summary, are magnesium and zinc. Highly mineralized foods that you can eat. These would be things like nuts and seeds. Pumpkin seeds are one of the highest natural sources of zinc that you can consume. Things like sunflower seeds, cashews, almonds, dark leafy green vegetables like kale, Swiss chard, spinach. So long as you're combining spinach with a citrus, right? You want to make sure that you're always doing like a lemon or a lime juice with your spinach so that you can extract the maximum amount of iron out of your spinach. But dark leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, people, if you're a pescatarian or you choose to eat seafood, things like mussels or clams, salmon is a great source of minerals. I personally do plant-based, so I stick to the nuts and seeds and dark leafy greens. But anything that you can do right now to really, again, be hydrated or increase the mineral density, please do that. Now, in terms of immunity-boosting ingredients, I mentioned vitamin C. There's been some interesting research out there from several scientists. There's some really cool doctors out there. Ben Green, Joseph Mercola, Dr. Joel Kahn, Mark Hyman, 4 doctors that I'm colleagues with and enjoy the research that's out there right now. But vitamin C is one of the best things you can do. So whether you are doing, say, like rose hips, an ester C, a liposomal vitamin C, or one great source of vitamin C I wanted to show you that you might not be familiar with is organic camu camu powder. This is a Peruvian berry that they sun dry and grind into a powder. This is actually one of the world's highest sources of vitamin C. One small teaspoon of this gives you 240% of your recommended daily value, your recommended daily allowance of vitamin C. It's the second natural source of vitamin C on the planet that we know of, behind the Australian kakadu plum. Kakadu is an amazing word, very fun to say, kakadu, but very hard to obtain in the States and anywhere outside of Australia. So if you're going to get it from a natural source, I highly recommend you getting your hands on some camu camu powder to get your vitamin C levels up. In terms of other supplements that I've been taking, in addition to eating just really clean, really organic, I've been doing a lot of shiitake mushrooms, which are antiviral, a lot of reishi mushrooms, a lot of chaga, any medicinal mushrooms that you can get into your diet right now, whether that's through a tonic or a smoothie or making them into like a dashi broth or a soup. Highly, highly recommend you get a lot of medicinal mushrooms into your diet. It's one of the healthiest, most immune-supporting foods you can possibly eat right now. So any medicinal mushrooms at all. I don't mean white mushrooms or button mushrooms or portobello. Specifically, shiitake, reishi, and chaga mushrooms are going to have incredible anti-mutagenic, antiviral, and immune-boosting properties. So let's roll on our supplement train right now and some of the others that I highly recommend. In terms of protecting your respiratory health and getting your lung function up, two things you really need to do is vitamin A, and the other thing is glutathione. Now, the brand that I really love is, I mentioned earlier, a liposomal vitamin C. The same brand, Live On Laboratories, makes a liposomal glutathione. You take 1 to 2 packets a day. So I've been doing 900 milligrams of glutathione. This has protective benefits for your lung and your respiratory system. I didn't know that until recently, because when I've taken glutathione in the past, it's usually been for liver detox or liver repair. Now, if you can't find this or don't have the budget for it, for this kind of glutathione, one way you can get the body to produce more natural glutathione is to actually do coffee enemas. This is great for not only detoxing your colon, but actually helps your body naturally produce glutathione. So again, if you want to get your hands on the lipospheric glutathione or just start doing coffee enemas for the first time, it's a party. Quarantine can be a party for both ends. Start doing coffee enemas and your body will produce more glutathione on its own. Some other supplements I highly recommend. This is colloidal silver. Colloidal silver, anytime I'm going out in public. I flew about 2.5 weeks ago, and if you spray this externally on your orifices, it's orifices, plural of orifices, in your nose, in your mouth, in your ears, on your face. Anytime I'm going out in public, whether I'm going to the market, the farmer's market, I'm not really going out much anymore these days, but in terms of protecting yourself, immune support, colloidal silver, you can take this internally. You can do it in a dropper form like this, under the tongue, sublingually. Or you can spray it, again, all over your face and even on your hands. Another thing I highly recommend in terms of immune support is vitamin K. Vitamin K, and in conjunction with vitamin K, vitamin D3. These are great for your bone health, first of all. They're great for bone density. But vitamin K and vitamin D3 together also happen to be incredibly immunoprotective. So these two together, magical, magical combination. In terms of amount, I would say 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3. I'm pretty much doubling my dosage. It's kind of a rule of thumb that I go by during times of, like a pandemic we have, is whatever the recommended daily allowance is on any of these bottles, I'm doubling or tripling the dosage just to really, really get that bombarding effect on my immune system. What else can I recommend that I've got here? This is phenomenal. In terms of antioxidant and immune support, olive leaf extract. So fantastic. I take this seasonally and rarely ever get colds or flu. It's been a lot of years since I had the flu or had a cold, and one of my staple immunoprotective supplements is olive leaf extract. What else can I recommend for daily health? A coenzymated methylated B complex. This is a methylfolate, B12, a B2, and B6. It's a all-around amazing formula. For those of you who may have the MTHFR gene, this is a genetic mutation that makes it incredibly difficult for your body to methylate folate and or B12 from your food. So if you're going to choose a B complex, make sure that it's a coenzymated and methylated B complex, that way that your body can assimilate and absorb these vitamins much more readily. Also for anti-inflammatory benefits, this is also just a general wellness supplement that I take, but especially now to reduce inflammation in anywhere, if it's going to happen in my lungs or my throat or nasal passages, is a daily turmeric supplement. You don't have to take it in supplement form. You could do a turmeric powder or turmeric extract, but make sure that you're combining it with a fat like a coconut oil, or if you do butter, you could use a ghee, and also black pepper, because research has shown that when you take it with a fat like a coconut oil or a ghee and black pepper, it helps you absorb more of the curcumin, which is the anti-inflammatory compound in turmeric. Okay, rolling on, my friends. What else do we have? We also have this is a dark horse, pun intended when you see it, a natural antiviral, and this is shilajit. This is a ground up mineral humus that comes from the Himalayan regions. Now, it's incredibly mineral dense. Again, at the beginning of this video, I talked about how important it is to have a highly mineralized diet right now for your general health and immunity. But in particular, shilajit has been shown to have natural antiviral properties. So the one downside for shilajit, if you get it in powder form or capsule form, is it tastes like fermented dirt. It's really earthy, really smoky, and really bitter. Not exactly the best flavor combination in the world. So if you're going to take it, I highly suggest that you put it into capsules, or you put a teaspoon into a, say, hot chocolate or a medicinal mushroom tonic to hide the taste. Because even for me, I can tolerate bitter foods pretty well. This is super, it's a little too dank. It's a little too danky and stanky, if you know what I mean. But it is incredibly important for you to be taking shilajit right now during this time. What else can I recommend to you, my friends? For stress, for a lot of us, and at the end of this video, I want to touch on a few things that I can recommend for mental and emotional wellness. But really quickly, in terms of stress regulation, the two that I recommend are two amazing Ayurvedic herbs. This is ashwagandha and holy basil. This has been shown to help reduce cortisol, reduce the stress response in the body. So every day I'm taking ashwagandha and also holy basil. I mentioned earlier about reishi mushroom. Reishi mushroom, you can usually find it in chunks or powder. But in terms of a immunoprotective medicinal mushroom, I also take it in capsule form, and this is what it looks like. So any way you can get reishi, chaga, and shiitake mushroom into your diet right now, those are three of my top ingredients. What else do I have here on the shelf for you guys? If you are into honey, the best one that you can have right now is Manuka honey. This is an empty jar right now, but I wanted to show it for demonstration purposes. This is a New Zealand Manuka honey. Manuka honey has been shown to have much more health properties and immunoprotective benefits than other standard honeys. So I really enjoy New Zealand Manuka honey. Now, elderberry. There's been some contentiousness online recently about whether taking elderberry extract or fresh elderberries is actually protective against coronavirus. There's been a lot of research showing that elderberry extract or fresh elderberry juice is great against influenza, right? So we don't know because there's not a ton of research. Actually, there's barely any research about coronavirus and COVID-19 right now. But I'm hedging my bets, right? I want to say this because I didn't have this disclaimer at the beginning of the video. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't have a medical degree. So anything that I'm sharing with you in this video is not intended as direct medical advice to diagnose or treat any illness or have any direct research against coronavirus or COVID-19. But I like to hedge my bets, whether it's stock market investing or going to Vegas. I like to hedge my bets, including with my health. So this is actually a fresh elderberry extract. Instead of paying for the prices, and you may not even be able to find elderberry at your market right now, you can actually still get dried elderberry or frozen elderberry shipped to you. And what you do here is you can basically combine this. This is a mixture of colloidal silver. This is a little bit of manuka honey. And what you do is you just blend this up in your blender at home, whether it's the dried, you can rehydrate those with water, or you can take the frozen elderberries. I potentially like the dried elderberries better, but you're saving a lot of money in terms of not buying it from the market and making it yourself. And it tastes incredible, super, super potent in terms of immunity and vitamin C as well. And you can combine this with a little bit of citrus juice. You could combine this with lemon juice or orange juice just to get a little bit of extra vitamin C. But making homemade elderberry from dried elderberries is super easy, and it's really, really cost effective to do. What else can I show you, my friends? Okay, so here's another kind of off the cuff thing. So there's been some really interesting research that's been going on for decades now about the antiviral properties of ozone. Now, in a lot of places, in particular the States, intravenous ozone is illegal, but consumable ozone products are not. So this is a product I have from Hyperoxy. This is a brand from Longevity Resources Canada. The website is ozonegenerator.com. But this is a oxygenated olive oil. Now, what do I do with this? I take this oxygenated olive oil, and I take a little bit and I put it in my gums, in my mouth, and in my orifices, right? So I'm actually breathing and inhaling ozone. A lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't breathe in ozone. Well, if you're not breathing it 24/7 or for long periods, it's perfectly safe. But I'm actually taking ozone, again, orally and nasally, to protect against any potential viral infections. So consumable ozone, if you can get an oxygenated olive oil, this is a really, really maybe I don't want to say extreme thing to do, but a next level thing you can do. Okay, let's talk about hand sanitizer really quick, because hand sanitizer is so crazy that the other day I was driving down Melrose Avenue here in Los Angeles, and someone did the roll down your window sign, some guy, and I was like, what? And he holds up bottles of hand sanitizer. He's like he was trying to sell me hand sanitizer in traffic. Like, that's the point we've gotten to, is people trying to sling hand sanitizer in everyday traffic. But here's the good news. You can make your own hand sanitizer. This is what I did. This is a blend of 90% isopropyl alcohol, which you can still find at some pharmacies in your area, hopefully. 90% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. It's 2 cups. Here's the ratio. It's a 2-to-1. 2 cups of isopropyl alcohol to 1 cup of aloe vera gel, and 2 to 3 dropperfuls of colloidal silver, right? So all you got to do is put this in a blender, and you blend it up, and it comes out, and you can add this to a spray bottle. So again, to reiterate, 2 cups of, you could do a 70 to 90% isopropyl alcohol to 1 cup of aloe vera gel to 2 to 3 dropperfuls of a colloidal silver, and this is a natural, homemade, cost-effective hand sanitizer. I've been using this for 2 weeks straight. I still have 1 jar left. It makes a lot. So again, just another life hack and cost-saving strategy for you. Okay, so I want to touch upon going from our physical health, all of the antiviral immune boosting things that I showed you and talked about, to talking a little bit about how we handle our mental and emotional wellness during all of this. I showed you some of the anti-stress and anti-anxiety Ayurvedic herbs I've been doing, holy basil, and again showed you ashwagandha. But this is the most important time to maintain your state of being. And what I mean by this is, if you have not yet started a presence practice or a meditation practice in your life, this is the optimal time to do it. Here's why. Daily meditation, even for 10 to 15 minutes of quieting your mind and slowing your breath down, has been shown to reduce cortisol and release more beneficial hormones in the body. So meditation right now and being present to what is, trying your best to do deep breathing, right? One of the best things that I love to do is cyclical breathing, where You basically breathe in for, 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. And then repeat. And I've done this because I've had some pretty hardcore nightmares this week. There's been a lot going on, right? For a lot of us, we're processing this emotionally and mentally in very different ways. And for me, deep breathing, meditation, and a presence practice has made all the difference in terms of my mental health. And if you guys have seen or not seen my course with Commune here called Good Mood Food, I go deeper into some of my meditation practices and the food and supplements that I use to manage my mental and emotional health as I was diagnosed with clinical depression and suicidal ideation 6 years ago. So it's been more than ever now more important for us, if we do struggle with depression, anxiety, and stress, to manage our mental health much more acutely and engage in those self-care practices. So beyond that, what I've noticed in this time of, we've been hearing this phrase social distancing a lot. It's not social distancing, it's physical distancing as we try to flatten the curve. But more so than ever, if you're feeling isolated, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling a lot of anxiety, please, please, please reach out to your friends, reach out to your loved ones, reach out to your dear ones through FaceTime, through Zoom, through Skype. I've been connecting with more people this past week, especially in times that I've been feeling anxiety, than I have when things are normal. There seems to be just more of a willingness for people to connect right now. So if you're feeling isolated, if you're feeling lonely, if you feel like you might hurt yourself, please, please reach out to a hotline, reach out to a friend, get on FaceTime, get on Skype, get on Zoom, and connect with people you know, love, and trust, because you are not alone right now. There's a lot of people that are staring down the barrel of financial uncertainty, uncertainty with their employment, uncertainty with entrepreneurship. I have 2 businesses that I run, and thankfully we have the lights on, we have the mortgage and the rent paid, and everything's okay. But uncertainty right now and fears about the future are wreaking havoc on so many people. So if you can meditate, reach out to friends. If you're feeling suicidal or you might be in danger of hurting yourself, please call a hotline. Please reach out to online therapists. Are doing online sessions right now, and it's made all the difference for me and people I know with mental health struggles. But in terms of your health, please, please, please do not be shoving all kinds of artificial foods down your throat right now, eating fried foods, eating sodas, eating sugary foods. These are things that can really alter your mood and increase depression and stress and anxiety if you're eating a lot of artificial processed foods. So eating clean, eating plant-based foods, eating organic foods, eating local foods, taking a lot of the immune boosting supplements and foods I talked about in this video, it's more critical than ever. And in closing, I think that this is a magical opportunity through the chaos, through the uncertainty, through the fear, to reconnect to ourselves. That self-care is not just a hashtag. It's not just some cliche meme we see on Instagram. It's a time to practice your state of being and being in a good state, and having faith, whatever your religious or spiritual practice is, or whether you don't have any at all. I think it's a time to trust that this is, in my opinion, nature hitting the reset button. I know there's so many conspiracy theories about where coronavirus came from. I don't want to get into any of those. My opinion, my heartfelt opinion, is that this is nature regenerating itself. This is Mother Earth, Gaia, hitting the reset button on us, slowing down. And amidst all of this, we're seeing the air quality here in Los Angeles and New York City and China and Europe being at some of the best levels we've seen in decades. We're seeing the waterways regenerate themselves. We're seeing forests come into new growth. We're seeing the natural world regenerate itself through this pandemic we're experiencing. And I'm encouraging you, if you start to feel anxiety, stop looking at Instagram. Stop paying attention to the media. Stop going on CNN. Stop flipping through your phone every hour looking for updates on the coronavirus. This is feeding our collective anxiety. It's not to say don't be informed. Yes, please be informed. But if you start to feel stress and anxiety rising in you, put the phone down. Close your computer or your laptop. Stop watching the media. Because it is one of the biggest viruses right now that is contributing to our anxiety and stress is the fear virus. We don't know what's absolutely true. That's one of the hardest things right now, is we don't know if the stats and the statistics from the CDC and the NIH and the WHO and any of the doctors out there, we don't know what's real right now. So the best thing you can do, my beautiful friend, is to manage your mental and physical health as best as you possibly can. To be generous if you have extra food, extra toiletries, extra things that people need, and donate those. If there are animal rescue organizations or people helping the homeless right now, and you have the means financially to do that, please pay it forward and donate to those organizations in need. Because this is a confusing time of crisis for most of us on the planet right now. But if we can be in a good state of being, of generosity and trust and faith and good mental and physical health, then we can not only care for ourselves and our family and the people in our immediate sphere, but we can pay that forward and support financially and energetically to the people in the world that need it most, who may not be as privileged as we are in terms of our financial standing or our supplies or a roof over our heads. So once you take care of yourself, please, please, please start focusing on how you can be of support of our brothers and sisters here on this planet. So again, this is Jason Robel. I'm so happy that Commune gave me this opportunity to share with you some of my immunity, my health, my mental health protocols, and share my message of hope and trust, and knowing that I believe we are going to come out of this stronger, more connected, more compassionate, and more courageous than before. I believe that in my heart. I believe that in my soul. So if you want to connect with me more, you can check out my Commune course called Good Mood Food. It's a 7-day course all about optimizing your mental and emotional health through food and nutrition. I also have a podcast that is doing amazingly well, and if you're holed up at home, I'd love for you to listen to that. It's called This Might Get Uncomfortable, with me and my co-host Whitney Lauritsen. We've got a lot of physical, mental, and spiritual resources there for you to thrive. It's on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher, Google Play, and also Spotify. This Might Get Uncomfortable, the podcast. And on my website, jasonrobel.com, you can find a lot of courses and health resources, along with my new brand, Wellevator. It's WELLEVATR.com. Again, all about keeping us optimized and our well-being high during this time of uncertainty and this time of opportunity. That's it for now. I'm signing off, sending you so much love, sending you so much support. And if there's anything you need, please find me on social media at Jason Robel. Send me a DM, send me an email, and I'm happy to offer resources for free during this time of great need. I love you, I believe in you, and we're in this together. See you soon.